Have you ever tried using the so-called law of attraction and nothing happened? You made affirmations, stuck post-its on the mirror, visualized intensely, but your reality stayed exactly the same? If so, there's nothing wrong with you. The truth is, you were taught to skip a crucial step. That's why the law of attraction never really worked. The problem isn't what you want, it's what you're unconsciously vibrating. Most people are trying to manifest a new reality, using the same frequency that created the life they want to change. That's like trying to tune into a radio station while turning the dial the wrong way. Sounds crazy, but that's exactly what happens. You think about wealth, but vibrate fear. You think about love, but vibrate rejection. And guess what the universe responds to? Only the signal you emit. In this video, I'll show you what no one ever told you about manifestation. You'll understand why the law of attraction is just the tip of the iceberg, and why everything starts way before that, with something called vibration. If you apply what you'll learn here, you can completely shift your frequency, your mind, and your results. And it all starts now. Many people talk about the law of attraction as if it's the ultimate secret, but few understand that it's actually just the result of something bigger. Before you attract anything, you need to vibrate on the same frequency as what you want. It's like trying to tune into a radio station without being on the right frequency. No matter how much you want to hear the music, it will never play unless you're on the right channel. The universe doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you vibrate. And that vibration comes from what you feel, think, and do consistently, especially when no one's watching. Want to attract an abundant life, but constantly vibrate fear of lack? Want love, but vibrate rejection and insecurity? There's no point in wanting to change your results if your vibration stays the same. Everything in the universe is in motion. Nothing stands still, and neither do you. You're constantly emitting signals. What needs to be clear is that you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are, vibrationally speaking. The frequency you emit daily, especially when you're not consciously trying, is what determines your results. That's why, before any technique, it's essential to observe your natural vibrational state, what you feel, think, and project when you're not trying to control anything. That's your true vibration. And that's where manifestation starts, which brings us to an essential, often overlooked point. You know that thought you let slip by, thinking it's harmless? It's not. Every thought activates a specific frequency in your body, a real, physical vibration that spreads like an antenna transmitting a signal. Thought of failure, rejection, scarcity? Your body feels it. And it won't take long for the world around you to start responding to that same signal. It's like throwing a stone into a lake. The wave comes back. It always comes back. Your body mirrors what's going on in your mind. You don't even have to say a word. Your energy says it all. Ever notice how some people walk into a room and everyone feels good around them, and others bring a heavy vibe, even in silence? That's pure vibration. And that vibration starts with what a person is thinking all the time. Thought comes first, feeling follows, and together they create your vibrational field. So if you want to change what you're attracting, start with the thoughts you're feeding. A simple exercise is to take a piece of paper and write, what am I in vibrational harmony with today? And be brutally honest. Am I in harmony with scarcity or abundance? With fear or confidence? With doubt or certainty? Because life doesn't give you what you ask for. It gives you what you vibrate. And vibration begins in thought. There's one thing that blocks most people, and it's not a lack of information. It's a paradigm. This is simply a set of beliefs and patterns running on autopilot, deep in your mind. Even when you know what to do, you don't do it. Even with clarity, you sabotage yourself. Why? Because your mental programming is saying something else. You try to change your behavior, but the internal system is still the same. Paradigms are like a smartphone's operating system. If it's outdated, it doesn't matter what fancy new app you install, it won't run properly. That's what happens to many people. They read books, take courses, watch videos like this one, but still get the same results. Because they're trying to use new tools on an old system. And changing that system requires repetition, emotional involvement, and daily awareness. To start breaking a paradigm, you need to identify which pattern keeps repeating in your life. For example, every time more money comes in, it disappears. Every time an opportunity shows up, fear takes over. Every time something good happens, you sabotage it. These are traces of hidden paradigms, and only when they're replaced by new ones, aligned with the life you want, do your results start to shift? Which leads us to the next point. Everything, absolutely everything, is energy in motion, including you. Your physical body, your thoughts, your emotions, none of it is fixed. Everything is constantly changing, vibrating at a certain frequency. And that's liberating, because it means you're not stuck with any version of yourself. Who you are today doesn't have to be who you are tomorrow. Energy changes, frequency shifts, and you can change too. Think of water. It can be ice, vapor, or liquid. Same substance, different states, different vibrations. The same applies to your life. The way you behave, react, decide, feel, all of that can be elevated to a new frequency. What seemed impossible yesterday can feel natural tomorrow, as long as your vibration aligns with the change. The key is remembering, you are not fixed, you are a process. This awareness breaks the idea of a rigid identity. There's no such thing as, I'm just like this. No, you're like this for now. The vibration you choose to feed in the present defines the next steps of your reality. Change the vibration, and your behavior starts to shift as well. And that gives you the power to rebuild everything from scratch, as many times as needed. There are two mental faculties that completely change the game when used properly: imagination and will. Imagination is where everything begins. It creates the mental image of what you want to experience. But it's not just daydreaming. It's visualizing with clarity, with intention, with emotion. The image needs to be vivid, engaging, alive. Because what the mind sees in detail, the body starts to believe. And the universe responds to that. But imagining alone isn't enough. That's where will comes in. The ability to stay focused on that image, even when nothing around you seems to be happening. Most people give up halfway because they lose sight of that image. They trade focus for doubt, vision for distraction. Will is what keeps the image alive and strong until it materializes in the physical world. It's like keeping a candle lit in the wind. It takes attention. Want a practical exercise? Choose a clear goal. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living it now, as if it's already real. Feel the details, see the colors, hear the sounds, get emotionally involved. Then commit to keeping that image alive every day for at least 5 minutes. This daily practice strengthens your vibrational signal and reprograms the subconscious mind. And it prepares you to set the right kind of goal, because not all goals will take you where you truly want to go. Not all goals are equal, and understanding this makes all the difference. There are 3 main types: A, B, and C goals. Type A goals are ones you already know how to reach. They're comfortable, predictable, and don't lead to real growth. It's like repeating a path you already know. Useful? Maybe. Transformative? Not at all. They keep you in the same place, just with the illusion of progress. Type B goals are ones you think you can achieve with effort. They challenge you a bit more, but still stay within your safety zone. They might depend on something external or on favorable conditions. The problem is, even if they seem bold, they don't activate your true potential. They're based on logic, not deep desire. And that limits the vibrational energy you put into them. Now, Type C goals are different. These are the ones you deeply desire but have no idea how to achieve yet. They scare and excite you at the same time. These goals stir your emotions, spark imagination, and require a complete paradigm shift. This is where real growth happens. And to sustain a Type C goal, there's a powerful tool that bridges your inner and outer world, and that many people underestimate. Visualization is not a detail, it's a tool for creation. Before something exists in the physical world, it has to exist in the mind. And the clearer the mental image, the stronger its vibrational power. Visualization isn't just imagining, it's feeling, experiencing, living it internally before it shows up externally. What the mind accepts as truth, the body starts to act on, and the universe responds. Think of anything you've accomplished in life. Before it happened, you already had some image of it in your mind, maybe without realizing it. Now imagine doing that intentionally, every day, with full emotional presence. That's what separates those who create their reality from those who just react to it. Consistent visualization reorganizes the subconscious, aligns your vibration, and attracts the right opportunities. Want to apply this? Choose a goal, ideally a Type C goal, and create a mental scene where you're already living that outcome. Don't watch it from the outside. Step inside the scene. Where are you? Who's with you? What are you feeling? Make this a daily habit, because when you start emotionally living what you desire, even without physical evidence, your vibration begins to change. And that inner shift directly affects how you feel, which brings us to another crucial point. Your feelings are a thermometer of your vibration. If you want to know what frequency you're operating on, don't guess. Just check how you're feeling. Emotions like fear, anxiety, frustration, and anger show that your vibration is out of alignment with what you want. On the other hand, when you feel excitement, gratitude, lightness, or confidence, it's a sign your frequency is high and in tune with your desires. That's why forcing positive thoughts while feeling doubt won't work. The universe doesn't respond to what you pretend to think, but to what you truly feel. Feeling is the most direct channel of communication with reality. And the good news? It can be adjusted. Changing your thoughts is one way to change how you feel. And changing your feelings changes your frequency and what you attract. A simple practice is to create small emotional anchors. For example, listening to a song that lifts your state, remembering a powerful moment of achievement, or writing a daily gratitude list. These are ways to tune your vibration to higher emotions. And the more time you spend in these frequencies, the easier it gets to sustain a new reality. But for this to really work, there's a key detail that few people understand about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't analyze, judge, or filter. It simply accepts. Whatever you repeat with emotion, whether it's true or false, ends up being recorded as reality. And once something is in the subconscious, it works like an invisible program, guiding your decisions, emotions, and behavior. That's why so many people stay stuck in negative patterns even when they know what to do. If you spend years saying, "I'm bad with money, nobody values me," or "this never works out for me," your subconscious stores those phrases as absolute truths. And worse, it will work every day to confirm those ideas without you noticing. That's why repeating affirmations without emotion doesn't work. What really reprograms the subconscious is repetition plus intense feeling and mental imagery. Want to truly reprogram your mind? Then start with powerful statements. Say them out loud, connect emotionally, and visualize as if they were already real. Do this repeatedly, consistently. The subconscious has no sense of humor and doesn't know what a joke is. Whatever enters with emotional force becomes programming. And that programming defines your vibration. But there's an even bigger reason why most people never access this level of awareness. The truth is harsh, but it must be said. The biggest obstacle between you and the life you want is not lack of opportunity, crisis, or luck. It's ignorance. Ignorance in the literal sense, not knowing. Not knowing that universal laws are at work all the time. Not knowing that you're creating your reality with every thought, feeling, and vibration. And since no one teaches this in school, most people stay stuck in a cycle they don't even understand. When you ignore these laws, you fight against them and don't even realize it. You work hard, chase goals, try to control everything with physical effort, but nothing flows. Because you're using the wrong tools to deal with a universe that responds to vibration, not brute force. On the other hand, when you start understanding how this works, things begin to fall into place. Resistance fades, clarity increases, and opportunities start showing up naturally. Ignorance isn't a flaw, it's a reversible condition. And the antidote is applied knowledge. It's not enough to know, you have to live what you learn. And the more you align with these laws, the more you feel you're in the right flow. The problem is, many people never get to this point because they're trapped in distractions, doubts, or limiting beliefs. But now that you've come this far, the choice to step out of that cycle is already in your hands. Now that you understand why the law of attraction alone doesn't work, the real question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you keep vibrating on autopilot, repeating patterns that push you away from what you want? Or will you take control of your frequency, your thoughts, your emotions, and finally start creating the reality you deserve to live? The choice is always yours. But remember, knowing this and not applying it is the same as not knowing at all. So, what can you do today, still today, to raise your vibration? What thought can you replace? What emotion do you need to start cultivating? Write it in the comments. What impacted you the most in this video? And what are you going to change from now on? If this content made sense to you, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and follow the next videos. Here, the talk is direct, deep, and always focused on helping you awaken your true power. Because no one else is going to live your dream life for you. See you next time.